But here we have a passage which does lean towards a surprise return. It says, but concerning that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. I addressed this in the previous lesson, and I'm not exactly sure what Christ means that even he doesn't know the day nor the hour, but the Father only. Some will insist that as God in the flesh, Jesus had to be omniscient. But we do know from Luke 2:52 that Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. We have to remember that it is as necessary to Christian theology that Christ be fully human as it is that he be fully God. And to be fully man means that he had to lay aside some of his divine attributes. Paul tells us in Philippians 2 that we are to have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. And being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Christ is our perfect example of faith, and this is nowhere displayed more beautifully than in Gethsemane. The poetry of the moment is lost if you adopt a modolistic concept of the incarnation. If the omniscient God was simply going through the motions, 100% sure at every step of the outcome, we do not really have an example of faith. We simply have a display of foreknowledge. We can endure anything when we are absolutely sure of a positive outcome. Anguish and doubt isn't usually a result of what we are enduring now, but from fear of what might yet come. It is that tiny sliver of doubt which allowed Jesus to cry out, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me," in the garden. And, my God, why have you forsaken me?" from the cross. But it is also that tiny sliver of doubt which gives so much more meaning to Christ's display of faith when he further declared, "Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." And, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Now, this is basically what Jesus is telling us here. I can't tell you everything you need to know about end times, but I can tell you what you need to know. More importantly, I can tell you who you need to know. You will beg that you can avoid drinking from the cup of persecution. And it will indeed be so bad that you will feel as though God has abandoned you. But you need to persevere, because he who endures to the end will be saved. And you will persevere because Christ will not lose any of his elect. The sheep adopt the attitude of the shepherd and resign themselves to whatever may come, saying, "Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. And Father, into your hands I commit my spirit."